Hello there, a very good evening to you. You're live here on GHOne TV. It's time for news tonight with me, Natalie. A look at our top stories. Coming up this evening, Electoral Commission in trouble as opposition NDC demands live telecast of Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting on Friday over accusations of deliberate transfer of voters in some constituencies.
The voter register of Ritoji today, as it stands, is 2,569, and the population census estimate stands at 887. How?
Also coming up, NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia mocks opposition flag bearer John Dramani Mahama for running away from debating him. He says the opposition leader does not have data to engage in such a debate.
The former president doesn't want to debate me. He doesn't want to debate me because he knows that he doesn't have the data.
Also ahead, over 1 million Ghanaians die through polluted air as the Environmental Protection Agency calls for immediate action.
Air pollution caused around 8.1 million premature deaths globally.
Also ahead tonight, NPP flag bearer promises to change duty systems at the ports to make it easier for importers to determine beforehand how much to pay before their goods arrive. We bring you these stories and much more news here on News Tonight Tuesday. Watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. Our bulletin streams live for a global audience on Facebook and X at GHOne TV. Let's get started with Insight.
Insight is brought to you by On Insights this evening, we put focus on election-related news with just less than 4 months to the 2024 general elections. Next on your Election Hub. Let's get started this evening. Now, though the Electoral Commission is yet to come out with certified copies of the voters' register, the opposition NDC continues to raise concerns about alleged illegal transfers in the provisional register given to them. The opposition party in the GHOne constituency, for instance, is accusing the Electoral Commission of padding the numbers in the register for the Wuli area. Now, here is Kumi Prosper, secretary for the NDC within GHOne, speaking to the media earlier today.
How can the counting of the statistical service estimates that considers every citizen and residents of all ages be less than those who are 18 years plus? It doesn't make sense. The voters register of Ritoji today, as it stands, is 2,569. And the population census estimate stands at 887. How? I believe that some level of urgency will be attached to this. Those who matter should quickly come on board. Let's subject, if not for all, let's subject the Ritoji register to a forensic audit. It is critically important. I am not sure any well-meaning citizen will accept this document going into such a crucial election. Let no one take us for granted. Let no one underestimate us, and let it be clear to the propagandists and the tribal bigotries that we will continue to remain very focused and preach this issue of cleaning the registers and ensure that the goal of ensuring free and fair election comes to pass.
Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress NDC in the Efutu constituency has issued a 3-day ultimatum to the Electoral Commission demanding the removal of 2,873 names allegedly added illegally to the voter register. In a petition presented to the constituency electoral officer, the NDC also called for the re-exhibition of the voter register once these anomalies have been rectified.
According to the NDC, a total of 2,873 names were unlawfully inserted into the constituency's voter register.
According to the daily printouts that were given to all parties, the Electoral Commission recorded a total of 7,024 voters who transferred their vote into the Efutu constituency. However, upon examination during the voters' exhibition, we have discovered that the total number of voters transferred have jumped to 9,897.
During a petition presented to the Efutu constituency electoral officer, the party leadership stressed the urgency of the matter, giving the Electoral Commission a 3-day deadline to remove the additional names.
It's even the 3 days, we are just being human. We need a response as quick as we can. As law-abiding citizens, we have followed the due process. We have petitioned the commission to do a proper audit and a whole comprehensive audit of the register, so that at the end of the day, we all go to the polls on the level ground, and then the polls will decide who should control Efutu.
The party further demanded that after ratifying the anomalies, the Electoral Commission should re-exhibit the voter register in Efutu to allow for proper verification by the public.
Saying you are transferring your vote into the Efutu register with the reason that you are just transferring is not a reason. So which means that nearly all the 9,000 of those who transferred their vote into the register did not state any reason. So that is number one. Number two, the reason why after the deletion they have to re-exhibit the voters register is that we believe that the voters register that was exhibited was fraud. If you are going to delete those people, then it means that you are going to reset the register. And if you are going to reset the register, then you have to re-exhibit it for everyone else to come and verify.
The party warned that failure to address their concerns within the stipulated time frame could lead to further protest and legal action.
Well, to deal with these concerns, the opposition National Democratic Congress is demanding a live telecast of the meeting with the Electoral Commission, which is slated for Friday. The meeting, which is at the behest of the opposition party, seeks to address the concerns raised by the NDC. A letter to the Electoral Commission signed by the General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Fiavi Kwete, wants the live telecast of the session as a means of ensuring transparency. Well, Dr. Tanko Rashid is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, and he joins us for a conversation on this development. Joins us in studio, Dr. Rashid, thank you. It's very good to have you in studio this evening. Now, you've got the EC raising the fact that these discrepancies, I mean, the whole process of this voters register is to resolve these discrepancies. However, you still insist for a live telecast, and the Electoral Commission has mentioned that they are not prepared to have this meeting coupled with a live telecast. Why do you continue to insist for the meeting to be live?
Dear, let me say good evening to your cherished viewers. It is very clear, I mean, for transparency's sake, this is Electoral Commission that always tout their credential of transparency. Right. Everything that they want to do, they want it to be transparent. They've been saying it all along. They have. Now, you gave us a provisional register. The provisional register is a public document. It's a document you exhibited. Right. We've checked through we've scanned the register, and we've seen serious discrepancies in the register, unprecedented. For the first time, I mean, from 92, we've been doing exhibition exercise for all this. This year exhibition looks different in terms of the number of transfers that we have just seen. You've seen what is going on in Efutu, GHOne, northern sector. You go to Volta region, unprecedented transfers. We've realized that illegal transfers, massive illegal transfers occurred in this register that they have compiled. So we wrote to them and told them that we want to have a meeting with you over these issues that we have seen, because you gave it the register. Okay, so they replied that we should come and have this engagement with them on the 9th.
Right.
Or this on the 6th, which is tomorrow, September.
On Friday.
Right. So we said, fine. Then having looked at that, in between, they held a press conference. And in their press conference, they admitted to all the concerns that we raised. Right. That yes, there were problems, there was no liveliness check in terms of the transfer. Because of that, they had to interdict one of their officers allegedly involved, and that kind of thing. And then they've talked of the GHOne issue. Okay, invariably, they vindicated the NDC. Okay, then we said, okay, if you said all this, and at the tail end of it, then he now sought to say that their register is still credible, robust, and can be used for people.
I mean, it says that the commission is still committed to credibility ahead of this election. So you would agree that this process is aimed at bringing out these discrepancies, no?
Well, I'm saying that if the NDC hadn't teased out these discrepancies, the Electoral Commission would have taken it as a normal process, and therefore there's no issue with it. Because initially, when we raised the issues, you remember they came up with a press release to say that their register was credible, robust, and can be used for a purpose. Therefore, they should ignore all the noises going on. This was a statement coming from them.
Yes, the EC did release that statement.
In fact, so the following day, we had to start issuing some of these issues that we got from the register. That forced them to go and hold this press conference to now say that, well, these are the issues and all that. So in order to make sure that we carry Ghanaians along, so that we can engender this transparency everybody is looking for, that they have been touting on. Why not allow media to come and then cover the discussions that we are going to have with you?
Okay, now
it's a straightforward thing.
It's straightforward. You feel like it's public. I mean, it's public, so it might as well be made live. Now, we had your colleagues within the MPP also expressed that they identified some discrepancies within the register as well. However, on their part, they found it more suitable to write quietly to the Electoral Commission for these issues to be addressed. Right?
When did the NPP realize that they have issues with the register? I don't know the people who are staunchly defending the Electoral Commission with all these shenanigans.
Would it have been improper for the NDC to have taken the route of writing to the EC formally for these issues to be addressed? What is the key objective, really, for this live telecast? What's the key? What do you feel like it would address that would be so different?
It will address transparency, which is a hallmark of the Electoral Commission. Transparency.
But the EC has said...
So why are they running from transparency to opacity?
It's declined.
So that's what we are saying. So
it's declined this request for a live telecast. So then,
and their reasons were not tenable. Why are you running away from transparency? You've written it boldly, and one of your mottos that transparency, and yet we want to have transparent process, and you don't want it.
So the EC says that these discrepancies identified by your party is not a new phenomenon, right? It's part of the procedure. So for that reason, it needn't be.
I'm saying that for all my years that I've lived in this electoral process since '92, this is the first time we are seeing massive illegal transfer of votes without the knowledge of the people.
Massive.
Is
the difference to you?
That is a difference. It has never happened. Do you know that even moving people from one polling station to another cost Amadou Sule, a commissioner, his job? When Nanado was firing the commissioners, Charles Sose and the other two, the charges against Amadou Sule was moving voters from one polling station to another polling station, that creating a polling station and moving voters to that polling station. That was one of the Trump charges against him, and he was removed. Today, you are seeing people being transferred without their name. You are sitting here, you're not sure whether your name has not been moved from Accra to somewhere in my hometown without your knowledge. If somebody gets hold of your ID number and everything, they just sit down in their comfort of their room and enter your data and transfer you, move you. That's what happened. This is what we are saying. This is not an error. This is a deliberate error to rig election. It's a deliberate error because the person who did it, if he has no intention, why then has he moved the people without their knowledge to the extent that they even printed new ID cards for this innocent woman because they are illiterate? They don't know that this card they are holding is not their card they collected. Somebody ostensibly collected their card, pretending that it's going to give them loans and other things, only for them to be returned with a different ID card bearing different constituencies without their knowledge. This is criminal act. It has never happened. Avarjan to Charlotte said they never did this.
Right. So now, with this call that you've made specifically for it to be live telecast live, the EC has declined. What's going to be the next request of the NDC? What's the next step?
Well, tomorrow we'll appear there. We'll go with our evidence, our observations, but we'll find innovative means of making sure that the media cover.
Describe these innovative means.
Oh, it's innovative.
How innovative is it? Grabbing a phone and
that's why I'm saying innovative.
Let's leave it that way. Because
you see,
you said you find innovative means for the
media to cover it
public.
Because we feel that the register is a public document.
Right.
It's not a national security document.
How innovative? For the media. We are the media.
Yes,
so how
that's what I'm saying.
What are these innovative?
The way we found way to let the media to know that they have stolen items under CCTV cameras in Electoral Commission, we'll find a means of letting you cover this one too. When they stole the items at the Electoral Commission, it was NDC who brought it out to the media. Is that not true? It wasn't the one who blew the cap. The NDC. We found a means of getting.
You do know, however, that it's standard procedure that IPAC meetings, media isn't permitted to cover these.
This is not IPAC meeting.
Media isn't permitted to cover these formally. If we were formally permitted to cover, there would be no need for an innovative procedure for us to cover it.
That is it. That's another window we can explore during our next IPAC meeting, maybe to allow media to come and sit in there. But I don't know why some of these things they want us to always be behind camera. I don't think so. Because this is a public issue. This register is a public document.
You feel like do you feel like the EC is covering?
Yes, it's covering. That's what I'm saying. That somebody is trying to cover their back. But you see, it's a public document. You exhibited the same document you fear that we are coming to talk about. It was public document. It was lying down all the polling stations. And they saw all these things. These press conferences, our people are organized all that. They are looking at the register. And they've also studied it, and they've seen the problem. It's a public document. We are coming to discuss a public document. We have seen this problem. Why are you hiding? You don't want the media to. We'll find innovative means for the media to cover it.
Does that make you question the EC's freedom, fairness, and transparency that it's been putting forward with regards to dealing with this election?
Of course, dear. They said transparency. Let the people know. Is that not what they have been doing?
Certainly, that's
so why are they running away from this transparent process where we are asking them for?
Right.
It's a simple process. Let the cameraman come. Look, let me give you an example. We were in our office having a FEC meeting. Then National Peace Council said they wanted to meet us. Lo and behold, when they entered, they came with cameras. We didn't even know that they had programmed it live. The meeting started only for us to get to know that it was streaming live.
But it wasn't a concern to you.
It was there that we got to know. And our chairman even raised concern about that. But we said no. Since it has to do with the national issue, interest, and all that, let's allow them. Let's move ahead. And it was streaming live, and we're talking about national security. We talked about issues concerning national security. That one, they didn't see anything wrong with that. Today, Electoral Commission, who is keeping our register? The register belongs to Ghanaians, so it doesn't belong to Jim Mensah.
Certainly.
It's our property. And now we want to discuss our property. We want us to go and lock ourselves inside room and talk about it.
Okay, so with that being said, what are your expectations going into this meeting tomorrow? The EC has said it's prepared to hear the concerns of the NDC. What are you expecting, be it behind camera?
Well, we are expecting that we'll present the observations to them. We'll make a presentation. In fact, we are going to carry our own projectors and everything there.
Okay, we don't take your own material?
Yeah, we'll take all our material to that place. We don't trust them. We'll present the
You keep saying you don't trust
No, how can you trust this? A commission that will come and tell you a story and go and do a different thing.
Chairperson?
The whole commission.
The entire commission?
The entire commission we are talking of. Is it not the commission that was using Coral Draw to add up numbers? Didn't you hear that? Who has ever done that? How can you trust such a commission? So this is the problem. So we are saying that we will present it. They will look at it. We will all look at it. The only thing that we are asking them for, reverse those states. This is an illegality.
So that's your expectation.
Reverse it. We are not expecting you to cheat for us, and we also don't want to cheat for anybody. We just want free, fair, transparent, credible register, so that if your mama is beating them well, 54% plus, it's understandable.
Very well.
But we don't want that kind of machinations that they have put in place. Those machinations, it doesn't help the democratic process of Ghana. It doesn't. That is what we are telling them. Eagle eyes on. We are monitoring it closely. Every bit, everybody's name must be in the register properly. Not illegal names should be added to the register. They accepted that they added illegal names. We didn't force them to accept it. We said it and they thought we were joking. Now they accept it. That is all we are looking for.
Thank you. It's been good having you this evening. We'll follow up on
I'm
the
grateful.
meeting.
I'm grateful. It is well.
Very well. Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. Well, let's stay on election-related issues this evening. Poll group Global Info Analytics has revealed that the governing New Patriotic Party is losing grounds in the Western region. According to results from its latest special polls of the region, Global Info Analytics says it expects the opposition NDC to garner some 53% of votes in the region. The polls, which had a special focus on some 4 constituencies, Sekondi, Takrade, Ifia, and Kentan Esikado, traditionally MPP seats, is predicting that the NPP could for the first time lose the Takrade and Ifia seats. Here is Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, who says the polls are a reflection of the standard of living thoughts on the minds of voters. He spoke to my colleague Awisi Dede earlier on GHOne Newsroom.
The overview is to see how the NPP is performing in the Western region, and in particular in the Takrade enclave. We have picked some data from our previous work that suggested that all wasn't well in those areas, but those samples were not sufficient enough for us to draw a conclusion on what was happening there. So we went back in full force and then interviewed a much larger sample across all these 5 areas, then to confirm what was going on in those constituencies. It's usual field interviews with officers holding handheld devices and then engaging voters in all the electoral areas of the constituencies that we visited. People are picked randomly on the street and in their homes or offices, shops, and interviewed. And the sample sizes are given for all the constituencies with their margin of error. But averagely, the margin of error is around 4.5% for all this survey that we have done. Now you can look at what we have published. These are constituencies that MPP usually wins. And the only constituency NDC has won there before was Takrade, I think, in 1992. Right. Ever since, MPP has won all those areas. So clearly, if you are losing ground in areas you should be winning big, then it means it's a problem wider in the region. It's very obvious from the survey we did. If you look at the question we posed voters, do you believe that Ghana is in the right direction or wrong direction? 69% of voters say wrong direction. Only 15% said right direction. When it comes to the question of their standard of living, has it improved compared to last year? Only 9% said it has improved. 47% said it's gotten worse. 47%. And 37% said it's unchanged. So you can see that the standard of living of people is really driving them to vote the way they are voting.
Now, it appears that the flag bearer of the governing MPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has concluded on the unavailability of his main contender from the opposition NDC, John Dramani Mahama, for a debate. He says the former president is afraid of debating him because he has no data to engage in a debate with him. Speaking at a stakeholder engagement in Tema Central on Thursday, Dr. Bawumia insisted that the governing MPP has performed better in every sector than the opposition NDC.
If you look at performance by sector, whether it's agric, we have done better. Whether it's industry, we have done better. Whether it's jobs, we've created 2.1 million jobs. It's still not enough, but that is more than any government in the history of the Fourth Republic. Whether it's roads, we have done better. Whether it's railway, we have done better. Hospitals, we have done better. Interchanges, we have done better. Classrooms in schools, we have done better. Hospitals, we have done better. Sports facilities, we have done better. Sanitation facilities, we have done better. Court buildings, we have done better. Fiber optic cable, we have done better. AstroTurfs, we have done better. There is no single area. You know, there's not a single area that you can point to, that you say that this sector, the former government performed better than you. And I challenge them because I'm a man of data. I'm a man of data. I speak only with data. When I say we have done better, I have the data to support it. You see what I mean? And this is why the former president doesn't want to debate me. He doesn't want to debate me because he knows that he doesn't have the data. He can make statements on political platforms where nobody can challenge him, but he cannot make them in front of me. He cannot.
The flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has described the 45,000 cedis compensation for the victims of the Techiman South shooting during the 2020 elections as insufficient to the extent of damage caused. This follows a ruling by the Wenchi High Court which ordered the state to pay an amount to 6 people who were injured when security personnel fired into a crowd before the declaration of results at the Coalition Center, leading to the deaths of 2 people. There's more in this report.
In what appeared to be an effort to control the crowd ahead of the announcement of the Techiman South election results at the Coalition Center, the security fired into the crowd, resulting in the deaths of 2 people and injuries to 6 others. The Wenchi High Court, in its judgment on September 3, 2024, declined to award full damages of 5 million Ghana cedis for the first applicant and 2 million for each of the other 5 applicants. Instead, the court directed the state to pay 45,000 in damages to each victim. However, the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, GHOne Mahama, expressed dissatisfaction with the compensation. Speaking at a rally at Kamia Ukwanta in the Techiman South constituency, GHOne Mahama said the amount awarded to the victims' families is insufficient.
Ghana court, akase omu praye no, I chese sa aseme esi ye no omu praye no, yemfa sika kakre bi emfa nche emomo aye 275,000 Ghana cedis. Na me Madre ye me se anka sika no be don so kakra echensa. And so ye da nyame ase se court akase yempe bibi kakra ma omo. Na se NDC din kunim ni aba bibia ewo hobia yebetimi aboa sankrofo no ye dia no so beka ho.
His comments comes in the wake of continuing calls for justice from families of the victims who were shot during the 2020 elections. The former president reiterated commitment to delivering justice and fair compensation for those affected.
Aseme si ya no makase se NDC aban ba yebeye nhwehwem na hwe nya ema esisa ebi se anya sa nhwehwemu na omo mudi sa wudi sem no ahwe ya ombeko bebi asa akoye sa se omo nya asotwe bia na omo hwe omo nkwa no omo ebusua omo maame mo omo papa mu eda so warehu mu enti eno enso maka si so se nyame adom.
Well, let's stay in the camp of the NDC. After combing the length and breadth of the Bono East region, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, GHOne Mahama, is set to conclude his campaign tour of the Bono East region, visiting key constituencies to engage with the electorate, traditional leaders and the business community, outlining his vision for the country in the upcoming December 7 general elections. Now, my colleague Abdul Hanan Adam is with the Mahama campaign team, and he joins live via Zoom for updates from the campaign trail. Good evening to you, Hanan. It's good to have you. Now, you have been following this campaign trail throughout the period. Has the flag bearer concluded with his campaign within the region, and how has he been being received throughout the period?
Well, not with the flag bearer. It's yet to arrive here at Impabe in the Nkwanga South constituency. After visiting about 10 constituencies from Monday till Thursday, which is today. And he's been well received by the people of the area where he has been campaigning to capture the minds and hearts of the electorate in the upcoming general election. Well, from the North constituency where he began the campaign of the Buni East region, he then moved to Sini West, Atobobo Mountain constituency, and due to the Techiman South and Techiman North constituencies, and now currently in the Nkwanga South constituency, where he is expected to engage with the community members here as the chief of and people of the area are currently working in the meeting with him, highlighting key issues affecting the community. So the flag bearer of the NDC has been able to outline his vision for the country and intends to capture power from the government party, giving reasons why Ghanaians should ditch the NDC and retain the NDC after the 2024 general election. So key among the issues which is affecting the people of the Buni East is roads, infrastructure, and other infrastructure development which has to do with education, health, among others. Job creation, the flag bearer says, is key among his priorities when he took office on January 7, 2025, and also to address one particular problem which I reported earlier about the shooting incident at the Techiman South constituency, which the families after the Windsor High Court directed the state to pay an amount of $45,000 compensation to the families, and that has been reported. And so the flag bearer says that justice for the families of these people will be served if he has been offered. Again, one other thing that to do with the people of the Buni is agriculture. And roads in the area are bad. The farmers are complaining that fertilizers are expensive, and they want the government to do something about it. But then the government says people in the next 4 months, they have no other option but to buy into the ideas of the flag bearer of the NDC and give them the opportunity to lead the country in the upcoming December 7 general elections. One other thing that's to do with
Abdul Hanan Adam there. Abdul Hanan Adam, my colleague, he's been with the Mahama campaign team joining us there. Now, we remain your election hub ahead of the December 7 general elections. On that note, that's how we wrap up Insights this evening.
Insight was brought to you by Pepsodent Herbal.
Watching news tonight here on GHOne TV. Let's turn to some health-related stories this evening. The world witnessed a staggering 8.1 million premature deaths in 2021 alone, attributed to air pollution. In response, efforts are being intensified to raise awareness and prevent human activities contributing to air pollution. This revelation was made by Dr. John Kingsley Kurugu, Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, as Ghana joins the global community to mark the 2024 World Clean Air Day.
The International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies is commemorated annually on September 7 in recognition of the fact that clean air is important for the health and day-to-day lives of people, while air pollution is the single greatest environmental risk to human health and one of the main avoidable causes of death and disease globally. According to the United Nations, a staggering 99% of the global population lives in areas with polluted air, suffering its far-reaching consequences. Air pollution is linked to ailments such as stroke, heart disease, lung cancer, and respiratory infections, hence the commemoration of the day. Addressing a gathering ahead of the day in Ghana, Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. John Kingsley Kurugu, disclosed that over 1 million people have died as a result of inhaling polluted air.
The recent State of the Global Air report also indicates that air pollution has become the second leading risk factor for death, both in terms of total global population as well as in children under 5 years old. Air pollution caused around 8.1 million premature deaths globally in 2021. And over 90%, that is about 7.8 million people of the deaths, are attributed to air pollution.
Dr. Kurugu emphasized the need for collaborative efforts to tackle this menace during his address marking the day. Delivering the keynote address, Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Ophelia Mensah Herford, lamented the economic costs associated with air pollution and its impact on children and pregnant women.
While air pollution affects everyone, its impact is uneven. Vulnerable groups such as pregnant women, infants and children, the elderly, the poor, and historically marginalized communities are disproportionately affected. According to the World Bank Country Environmental Analysis for 2020, the cost of air pollution in Ghana's two largest cities, Accra and Kumasi, is estimated at $264 million a year.
The 2024 International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies is themed Invest in Clean Air Now. Stronger partnerships, increased investment, shared responsibility to combat air pollution.
Well, next on News Tonight, we bring you business news. In business tonight, flag bearer of the governing NPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has reiterated his desire to change the duty system at the ports to make it easier for importers to clear their goods at moderate fees. Speaking during a meeting with stakeholders in Tema Central on Thursday, Dr. Bawumia said the unpredictability of port duties makes it difficult for importers to plan. According to him, it also leads to price fluctuations on the market.
We want to change the duty system at the port. The port too is a complicated system, and many of you in Tema know very well, because whenever you bring in any goods that you are importing, the importers are not even sure exactly how much duty is going to be paid, because there are so many other fees and so on that are tagged on and so on. So I've been thinking about it, and I want us to move to a flat duty system so that in cities, so that we can have predictability. Because if there is no predictability in the rate of duty at the port, there will be no predictability in the price of goods in the markets. Because anytime it changes at the port, it changes at the markets. And so I want us to have a simple system as they have in places like Estonia. If it's spare parts that you are bringing in and it's a 40-foot container of spare parts, we know the flat rate for a 40-foot container of spare parts.
In some other business news, the bustling markets in Ghana's southern cities and towns brim with fresh produce that nourishes the nation. These goods cultivated in remote areas arrive at our doorsteps due to the relentless efforts of traders who bridge the gap between farms and urban markets. But have you ever considered the sacrifices and challenges that these traders endure to make this possible? Well, Peter Kwao Adato takes you behind the scenes, spending a night at the Dambai market in the following report.
The bustling markets of Ghana's cities are teeming with fresh produce sourced from remote farming communities. Each week, determined women embark on grueling journeys to locations such as Dambai, Ketekrachi, Yeji, among others, braving difficult conditions to secure goods for resale. These traders sleep in the open at these markets, facing harsh weather and discomforts, all to ensure that our kitchens are stocked. The obstacles they face are daunting. Inadequate shelter, unpredictable weather, and long hours of waiting, yet they persist, driven by the goal of maintaining a steady supply of essential foods. While their commitment to feeding the nation is unwavering, the struggles they endure often go unnoticed. Peter Kwao Adato spent a night with these resilient women at Dambai Market to capture their untold stories.
And I engage the kids to a high hotel. And some transportation as I am by a bedding. It's any old dana, so a 12 cities are no Jala, yes, and so back high, 120.
An Accra resident, Doreen Tete, travels to Dambai every week to source goods. Along with other traders, she secures exports at Eda Ali's pavilion, which offers them some respite during these taxing nights. The pavilion has been the sole shelter for these women for nearly a decade. But what drives a man to become so involved in the welfare and social needs of women pursuing their livelihoods? Elder Ali also reveals why he has chosen not to charge commercial fees for the use of the pavilion. As they lie on makeshift beds beneath the stars, conversations drift from family matters to business challenges and hopes for improved working conditions. For traders like Celestina Ajadeko, the rising cost of living and transportation fares are constant worries. The dedication and sacrifice of these valiant women, whose unseen labor ensures our markets remain stocked and our meals complete, often goes unnoticed. Peter Kwadatos reports for GHOne News.
Revelatory reports there by Peter Kwadatos. That wraps up the business segment for tonight. You're welcome back to News Tonight. It's now time for the sports segment with Monica Bukari. Monica, not a very good day for the Black Stars today, is it?
Natalie, at all. Now, after 24 years of going undefeated in the Babaya Sports Stadium in Kumasi, the Black Stars this evening sadly lost one goal by a lone goal. But we will bring you highlights of this. Plus, crossing over to Kumasi to speak to Benjamin Yama, who will give us live updates from the stadium. Take a break after this breather. Now, the Black Stars of Ghana this evening tasted a sad defeat, losing by a lone goal to the Palancras Negras of Angola in a fiercely competitive at the Babaya Sports Stadium. A last-minute goal in the 93rd minute saw Angola's Melson tap into a poor defending by Ghana's Mumin to secure the only goal of the game. Ghana, however, won a 58% possession with 5 shots on target. Currently, Sudan sits first in Group F with 3 points. Angola sits second with 3 points, while Ghana sits third with 0 points, as well as Niger sitting fourth with 0 points. Now, for the very first time in 24 years, Ghana has lost a game at the Babaya Stadium. The Black Stars next face Niger on Monday, September 9 in Morocco. Now we are crossing over right now to Kumasi, where my colleague Benjamin Yamwa is standing by to speak to us on the aftermath of the game. Now, good evening, Benghazi, if you can hear me.
I'm not too sure if it's a good evening. I can hear you loud and clear.
A very bad evening.
Good evening for us in Kumasi. Certainly. A very bad one, which saw João Felicio send not a small dagger, but a very big dagger into the hearts of millions of Ghanaians this evening at the Kumasi Sports Stadium after the 93rd or so minute goal that he scored. That has gifted Angola all 3 points at stake in this game played here in Kumasi. So, like you said, very, very sad result for the thousands of Ghanaians who were here watching the game, who were expectant of a win for the Black Stars. Almost all of them went home before the game ended, all sad because their favorite Black Stars team had lost for the first time in over 24 years here in Kumasi in a football game. So a very, very bad outing for the Black Stars team, losing eventually by 1-0. But one thing I'll tell you is that, you know, the focus seems to be shifting on the pitch and the quality of the pitch. Even the coach for the Angolan side, whose side won, ordinarily you would think that he would talk about that's the win and go his way. But in his opening statements at the post-match presser, the coach for Angola, Pedro Goncalves, indicated that indeed for him the pitch was terrible and that Ghana as a football nation deserves to play on a better pitch. Again, a very damning verdict on the pitch here in Kumasi, which according to him had an impact on the game itself. Similar comments were made by the coach of Ghana, Otoado, even though he said he doesn't want to lay the blame on the defeat or the defeat on the pitch and how bad it was. But it looks as though the pitch again is coming into focus after the defeat for the Black Stars team. And for those of us who were to watch the game, actually, I can tell you, Monica Bukarian listeners or viewers, the pitch in Kumasi is not in a good state. That no one can lie to you about. It is bad, and it's about time Ghana does something about the pitches we play on for our national teams or for our national stadia. Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, Tamale, Esipon, wherever it is, we need to look at the pitches we have in Ghana. The quality of grass we use and how to maintain them again is in focus. But eventually, Ghana has lost out, and I'm sure from today you'll be getting a lot more reactions from the media, the fans who were here to watch the game. But all of them shared sentiment that are very similar. Disappointment that the Black Stars had lost again, a game here in Kumasi after over 24 good hours. Don't forget, the last time we lost a game in Kumasi, like we all know, was in 2000. It was against South Africa. Interestingly, we had Coach Otoado then playing for Ghana. Today, we've lost again here in Kumasi. Otoado did not play, but he was a coach on the bench for the Black Stars. It's just sad that Ghana again has had to lose a game here in Kumasi after all these years.
Lastly, before I let you go, there were reports that fans were throwing bottles onto the pitch. What exactly have you gathered?
Yes, that's true. I mean, for those of us who were here, it was obvious when the goal was conceded late on in the game, some of the fans who were so disappointed, some began leaving actually, but some who also were leaving but were angry and sad began throwing bottles of water, onto the tartan tracks here at the stadium. It was a sad scene and a sight. Yes, disappointments, but you always wish that fans would not go off and misbehave. But I can confirm to you, Monica, that indeed some fans, in some section of the stands, from the red and a bit even on the VIP section, we saw some fans throw some bottled water and some other, if you like, substance or objects rather, onto the tartan tracks because of how sad and disappointed actually they were at the defeat Ghana suffered today against Angola.
Thank you so very much, and we wish all of you safe journey back to Accra tomorrow. Well, that will be it for sports here. My name is Monica Bukari. Remember, the Black Stars next plays Niger in Morocco on Monday, September 9. Back to you, Natalie, for more news.
Thank you so much, Monica, for the sports news. Next on News Tonight, we bring you entertainment news. On GHOne tonight, Silverbird Cinemas has launched an award scheme to reward celebrities and young people who have had some impact in their society. The ultimate winner, male or female, as part of their contribution, will undertake CSR projects to further their impact with support from brands and institutions. The awards, which will be in two forms, will be for corporate institutions and individuals who have or want to make an impact on society. Kenneth Fiati is the head of research and communications for Silverbird, and he spoke to GHOne TV on the sidelines of the launch.
So basically, we're looking at celebrities and the impact that they have had on society. So you can be a celebrity, and if you have not had any positive impact on society, you don't qualify for this. Aside that, we're also looking at individuals that have looked out for problems in society and have found a way to prefer solutions for that. And we also want to award corporate entities that have also using what they have in order to help society. So we looking at the fact that there's a need for us to award these corporate entities, because even though they have corporate social responsibilities, they may not feel inclined to want to do stuff like this. But this also brings credence to the people that are awarded, and so it helps them build a synergy between themselves as individuals or as celebrities and then the corporate bodies to be able to do things that would also better the lives of people. The good side of this that you need to know is that you as an individual can contribute to 40% of the votes. The research team together with management and the jury have 60% of deciding who should win. So your choice can be the winner provided you take active part in this.
Well, that's how we wrap up with news tonight this evening here on GH1 TV. Many thanks for watching and making the time. There's lots more news on our website, sarafm.com.gh. Was produced by Musa Lanza, directed by Nakwale. I'm Natalie Fort. Have an incredible evening.